Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in this weekend primetime edition of the news on Equinox Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Bable Jonathan. In our top stories tonight, the mortal remains of a late Cameroonian business tycoon Kaji Defoso, one step to the world beyond. The corpse arrived his native Bana village in the west region of the Republic of Cameroon area today ahead of burial tomorrow. And we're also going to be talking in this newscast the calls from Northwest Governor Dov Lily Lafrique, who has called on the inhabitants of his area of command to stop listening to messages intended to destabilize the country. He was speaking to media practitioners in the Northwest Regional Capital Bamenda today after returning from the Governors' Conference in the nation's capital Yaoundé, and he assured the population that government is doing everything to ensure their security and safety. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this edition of the news on Equinox Television. The mortal remains of late business tycoon Kaji Defoso, mayor of Bana in the west region of the Republic of Cameroon and member of the Central Committee of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement (CPDM) political party, is already in his native land ahead of burial tomorrow. The mortal remains arrived Bana earlier today and was taken to the council where he was serving as mayor of that municipality, and later, after a kilometers of parade through the city or the town of Bana, the mortal remains finally arrived his residence ahead of burial, and funeral activities are going on at the moment as we speak in the Bana in the west region of the Republic of Cameroon. And in the same vein, late Yusuf Dauda, Cameroon's former minister, is now resting at the Bois de Senj neighborhood in the Douala 2 subdivision. Tens of government officials were present at the funeral today to pay their last respect to the fallen statesman. Mimi Mefuasmo.
Ministers and other members of government, imams, dignitaries, friends and well-wishers were at Bois de Senj, Douala to pay their last respect to Cameroon's former minister Youssoufa Dauda as he met his final journey to the world beyond. It was an atmosphere of agony, but above all characterized with prayers and meditation for the peaceful rest of the soul of the agronomist.
If you're not a père,
Amen.
not a patriarche,
Amen.
Youssoufa Dauda was victim of an accident on the 12th of September 2018 along the Douala-Yaoundé highway. His collaborators and party comrades say that his death is a huge loss to the CPDM party and the political landscape in Cameroon.
Late Youssoufa Dauda was a high civil servant in our country, and our country has lost a very important man, political and professionally, and we are very, very touched by his disappearing, because nothing was scheduled to ensure us that Mr. Youssoufa is going to Lefort. He was going to a meeting to try to organize himself to go and campaigning for the CPDM in the far north. And we are very, very, very unfortunately, we constate that he is not more.
The presidential couple sent a condolence message to the bereaved family. Youssoufa Dauda was board chair of the University of Marwa in the far north region before his death. He has occupied key ministerial posts in Cameroon. He was Minister of Livestock, Minister of Industry and Commercial Development, Minister of Economy, and that of Civil Service. He died at the age of 76.
And we stay in the Bois-de-Senche neighborhood in the Douala 2 subdivision to talk about the illegal and indiscriminate occupation of the area forbidden for human habitation. The Minister of Forestry and Wildlife, Jules Dorendongo, was there today for a fact-finding mission. Details in this report. This is Benghazi. It is not the Libyan city, but a neighborhood in Bois-de-Senche, in the second subdivision of Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. It is the interior part of the neighborhood developing in a forest reserve, and Forestry and Wildlife Minister Jules Dorendongo has come to take stock of the situation here.
We are here in the place commonly known as Bois-de-Senche, which is a forest reserve created in 1947, an old reserve. And a protected area is an area where people are not supposed to introduce themselves, build houses, build schools, construct roads. They're not supposed to live here.
Though forbidden for human habitation, it is inhabited by Cameroonians and foreigners. Many of them live in precarious conditions.
It is an illegal occupation of the forest reserve created by the state. I'm really happy to know that the competent DO, that is the DO of Douala 2, has already put in place an inquiry commission. The commission comprises members representing many administration involved in the issue. So what we are going to do is to wait the outcome of the investigations of that commission. Then the Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife with the others will see how to orientate the issue and take a decision.
The thousands of persons who have been living here for several years are now in uncertainty, not knowing their fate, waiting for the decision government will take in the days ahead concerning their presence in this part of Douala.
Our children,
Governor Adolphe Lafrique once again calls on the people of his area of command to stop listening to messages intended to destabilize the nation, and he urged the people of the Northwest region to go about their daily activities normally, ensuring them that their security and of course the safety of their goods are guaranteed by the government. He made this declaration today in Bamenda, the Northwest Regional Capital, Bamenda. That was during a meeting with pressmen and women. It should be noted that this meeting comes days after the Governor Adolphe Lafrique of the Northwest Region returned from the first Governors Conference chaired by Minister Paul Tanganji that took place last Monday and Tuesday in the nation's capital, Yaoundé. Greater details in this extract of Adolphe Lafrique, Northwest Governor.
our children, brothers, sisters, and loved ones who have been misled and misguided to take up arms against the fatherland are called upon to surrender their weapons to the nearest administrative, traditional, municipal, and religious authority, and as a follow-up, they will be entitled to psychological and logistical support for their eventual rehabilitation and reintegration into society. Our brothers and sisters in the diaspora are called upon to desist from manipulating the population and sponsoring socio-economic hardship and illiteracy, but to instead redirect their hard-earned resources to socio-economic development and education, which they themselves benefited from and which has made them the respectable men and women that they are, and to accompany the government in nation building as true and committed patriots. I am hereby making a clarion call and reassuring the general population of their security and safety, and to ask the civil servants to go to their respective workplaces, the teachers and people to be in school, and business people to go about their economic activities in all calm and serenity, as the administration, as a good father, is watching over them. In my capacity as depository of state authority in the region, permit me to call on all the inhabitants of the Northwest region to remain the peace-loving, law-abiding, and above all, the God-fearing.
Coming up, we talk about one of the innovations in the French subsystem of education in the Republic of Cameroon this academic year, the introduction of philosophy in the second cycle, and Smart Njikan Gabriel sampled some opinions on this in the Mongo division and compiled this report.
It is a new dawn for second cycle students of the French subsystem of education.
Ce matin, donc, nous allons commencer véritablement ce cours.
Philosophy is the latest subject to have been introduced into the academic program, and at Government Bilingual High School in Njombe, the students are glad to welcome the new subject on day one. It makes things easier for us because we are going to learn more. As such, when we move to the final year, we would have gathered much. Another student believes philosophy is to enable them to be wise. Philosophy implies that one is expected to be wise. I am glad to be wise. It is going to be advantageous for us psychologically. Apart from GBHS Njombe, students of St. Peter and Paul's College in Lum were also receiving the lectures for the first time. Though they feel proud being the first to have the subject introduced in their era, they believe that it is going to be harder as they go ahead. According to the explanation of the teacher, the beginning is sweet, but when we continue it's going to be difficult because we can't absorb everything. But it's our luck that it has been introduced during this period. Our elders didn't have the opportunity. The introduction of philosophy in the French subsystem of education, many believe, will help mold the students in aspects of citizenship.
As seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks and months boil down to the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, the Cameroon government is stepping up efforts to ensure that the stadium and other infrastructures that will welcome players, team officials, fans, supporters, and the general public and even tourists are ready ahead of that continental jamboree. Yesterday, the governor of the Central Region of the country and president of the Central Regional Local Organizing Committee of the Africa Cup of Nations was at the Paul Biya Olembe Stadium construction site in the nation's capital Yaoundé to ensure that work is advancing at a considerable pace, and he urged the construction company to work harder to ensure that the December deadline is respected. Inosenazi.
Major technical works on the Olembe 60,000 capacity sit-down stadium have been realized. Roofing of this Cameroon's most giant sport complex will be achieved in the days ahead.
So now as you can see in the presidential stand, we already complete the technical lots at the level 0. We almost complete in 1 week all the partition. So now the works are going faster and faster because instead of to work on one way, we work on maybe 10 ways now.
According to the project controller, Benoit Fab, it is now possible for light works on the gymnasium, handball, basketball, Olympic swimming pool and other facilities to be effectuated.
And now we can work in all the lots of the stadium. Means all finishing, so all partition, all facades, all windows, the seats and so on. So now all is almost open. There is no works which prevent to go ahead.
We are told the turf is already available. Assurances of the projects to be delivered in December continue to be whispered.
Yes, we will deliver on the 31st December. All will be, the stadium will be delivered as it has been said since the beginning, and we will stick to the program, to the very closely. And when there is some delay in one lot, we take all the decision in order to improve ourselves and to be on time.
Embarking on an inspection tour, Central Governor and President of the AFCON 2019 Organizing Committee, Nasiri Paul Biya, expressed satisfaction and encouraged the company to double efforts.
Visibly, I am satisfied, but I think more still has to be done, and done in record time, so that the detractors, those who think that the work is not going on, should equally see for themselves. So we are calling on Pichini to redouble their efforts. They have done, there are changes. Everything is going on well, but we have to be sure that by the end of October we are already testing on other things, so that by December the stadium will be ready.
Visiting the annex stadia, the governor knows works are advancing smoothly.
The other annex 1 and 2 work is visibly going on, and they have just to tie some knots and dot some I's so that the work is done. You see the entrances, what they call the body, it's quickly coming up.
Officials have promised to revisit the project sites in October and November to see the rates at which rest of works are going. They remain upbeat. Cameroon will host AFCON 2019, and that negative thinkers will be astonished.
Nasiri Paul Biya, governor of the central region of the country and president of the local organizing committee of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations for the Central region, speaking there in that report compiled by ÉQUINOXE, bringing us to the end of this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on ÉQUINOXE television. Thanks for staying with us. Do have a nice weekend in the company of our programs. Goodbye.